This is the story of Haki Kura. Haki Kura was the daughter of a chief called Tuwiriroa, and some might say she was what you call a tomboy. She used to like playing with the boys and join in with the rough sports, and she'd get a bit teased, and her father was worried about her playing with the boys. She lived in the place we now know as Queenstown, and one day she climbed up to the top of the hill where the gondola is, and she looked out over the lake, and she thought, I'm going to swim across that lake. She didn't tell anyone. She kept playing with the boys, and her swimming got stronger and stronger, and she swam across some of the bays. And then one day she said to her father, "Father, may I have some of the special bits of wood needed to light a fire," which are two pieces of wood that can be rubbed together, some dry moss, and then you wrap it up in a little flax bag to keep everything dry. Father said, "Yes, that's fine, Haki Kura," and handed her the makings of a fire. In the first light of the morning, Haki Kura woke up, went down to the shore, and dived into the water. And Lake Wakatipu, the lake at Queenstown, is a very, very deep, very cold lake, so she had to be strong. Haki Kura took off, swimming across the lake. She swam and swam and swam and swam right over to where the remarkable mountains are. And there's a little point there, and she pulled herself out of the point. In the morning, her father got up, wondered where Haki Kura was, went round the village, checked all the huts, met with all her friends, couldn't find her anywhere. He started to get worried. And then someone said, "Tuwiriroa," who was Haki Kura's father, "Look across there, look over to the point." And they could see smoke billowing from the point. And Tuwiriroa remembered, "Last night Haki Kura asked me for the makings of a fire. That must be my daughter." They launched a canoe and they paddled across, and sure enough, Haki Kura had swam right across the lake. She'd lit a fire, and all the rocks had turned black, and to this day those rocks are black. Haki Kura was the first person ever to swim across Lake Wakatipu, and the hill behind Queenstown where the gondola takes people up to the hotel is known as Te Taumata o Haki Kura, the place where Haki Kura sat. That's where she planned her swim across the lake. In the summertime, Tuwiriroa took his people all the way to the mouth of the Tairi River, and one day a handsome young chief who had escaped from a war in Kaikoura came to the Tairi River. Haki Kura saw him and fell in love immediately. They started a romantic relationship until Korokifiti, the young chief, heard that the enemies were pursuing him. So he got in his canoe and he sailed out the Tairi mouth. Just as he reached the ocean, he looked up to the pa where Haki Kura lived, and she saw that her lover was going to leave and head off south to Rakiura. She decided she wanted to go with him. She was a brave girl, and she dived off the cliff, but she didn't dive far enough. She landed on the rocks and she was killed. Korokifiti was devastated. He picked up the body, put her in the canoe, and he sailed off down to Stewart Island, until Tuwiriroa thought that Korokifiti was the one that killed her, and he pursued her, and it all ended in a big war on Stewart Island.